You know, it's funny. Even the smartest AI chatbots today can't really change your mind, can they? I mean, they can write you a sonnet, ace a law exam, even write code, but they can't actually persuade you. Well, that might be about to change. Today, we are diving deep into a really fascinating leap in artificial intelligence, teaching machines the very human art of persuasion.
So here's the game plan for today. We're going to start by asking why the current AI just doesn't cut it. Then we'll meet this new concept, the CogAgent. We'll break down its psychological toolkit, cover the three major findings from the research, and then, we'll look ahead to what the future of persuasion might hold.
All right, welcome everyone to our Flow Tao Salon. This is where we love to deconstruct those big, groundbreaking ideas. And today, we're taking apart an incredible academic paper that really explores how to build an AI that can genuinely convince you of something.
Now, the source for today's explainer is a research paper that's set to be published in the journal Frontiers of Computer Science in 2025. So yeah, we are getting a really fresh look, a sneak peek at the absolute cutting edge of this field.
Okay, let's get right into it. The paper is called The Future of Cognitive Strategy Enhanced Persuasive Dialogue Agents. I know, it's a mouthful, but it basically just means, how do we teach AI to be truly convincing? It's by Mengqi Chen, Bin Go, Hao Wang, and their team. And their core question is a big one. How do we get AI to move past just talking at us and start achieving real, human-like persuasion? To figure this out, they did a huge survey of existing research to create a formal structure, like a blueprint for these persuasive strategies.
So that brings us right to the heart of the problem. We've got these large language models that are incredibly fluent, but there's just something missing, isn't there?
It's such a strange feeling. You can have a perfectly logical, totally coherent conversation with a chatbot, but you walk away and nothing's changed. You're not convinced. They're fluent, sure, but they are not persuasive. So what's going on?
This right here is the key distinction. Today's LLMs, they are masters of language generation. Think of them as a walking encyclopedia. They have all the facts. But the goal here, cognitive influence, that's a whole different ballgame. That requires understanding human psychology, our cognitive states, our biases. It's the difference between an encyclopedia and a truly skilled negotiator. And this is where the paper introduces its big idea, a new type of AI that they've named the CogAgent.
So what is a CogAgent? Well, the formal definition is a cognitive strategy-enhanced persuasive dialogue agent. But let's put that in plain English. It's an AI that's been taught the psychology of persuasion. Its secret sauce is cognitive psychology. It's not just processing words anymore. It's designed to understand and actually use the very principles of how our own minds are influenced.
So, okay, if cognitive psychology is the secret ingredient, what are the actual tools in the agent's toolkit? How does it actually do persuasion?
The researchers break it down into three core cognitive strategies. First, you have the persuasion strategy itself. These are the specific linguistic tricks. Second, there's topic path planning, which is all about steering the conversation toward a goal. And third, argument structure prediction. So, organizing the logic of an argument for maximum impact.
Let's just zoom in on that first strategy for a second. The agent might use present of facts, hitting you with hard data, or it could go for emotional resonance to try and connect on a more human level. It might even use self-modeling to encourage you to cooperate. And if these sound familiar, they absolutely should. These are the same techniques that skilled negotiators, politicians, even our friends and family use to persuade us every single day.
And this is a perfect illustration of how it all comes together. Here, you've got an agent counseling someone through a tough job crisis. It starts with an expression of empathy, saying something like, "I'm really sorry to hear that. It must be incredibly challenging." Then, it pivots to a logical appeal. Take small steps forward and focus on the strengths and skills that can help you. See that? It's a strategic mix of emotional connection and rational guidance.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What new value does this research actually bring to the table? Well, the authors boil it all down to three major findings.
Let's break them down, one by one.
The first huge contribution is a unified framework. It takes all these scattered ideas from psychology and AI and organizes them into a single blueprint. And you might think, so what? But this is a really big deal. Without a blueprint like this, researchers are kind of just working in the dark. This gives the entire field a common language and a shared goal to build.
Second, the authors did the absolutely monumental work of creating a comprehensive survey. Just imagine sifting through decades of previous research, finding all the public data sets, cataloging every evaluation method. It is an incredible gift to the field. It's basically a complete roadmap for any developer who wants to jump into this space.
And third, the paper gives us this thrilling look into the future. It points out the big, open questions and highlights the most promising new trends. I mean, they're talking about things like multi-party CogAgents that could persuade a whole group, or even multimodal agents that use images and sound to be more persuasive. The possibilities are just fascinating.
And all of this naturally leads us to the final and maybe the most profound question of all. What does this mean for us?
And this is where it really starts to feel like we're stepping into science fiction. The paper points to a future where AI development is linked directly to neuroscience. This quote says it all. They want to explore changes in neural signals in the brain during persuasive conversations. They're literally talking about using brain imaging to see what persuasion physically looks like inside our heads, and then engineering an AI to trigger those very same signals.
Which leaves us with this final thought. We are right on the edge of creating machines that don't just give us information, but can actively influence our beliefs and our decisions. So as AI learns this deeply human art of persuasion, how is our relationship with technology, and maybe even with our own minds, going to fundamentally change?